Welcome to The Advisory, the first and last advice show on the internet where we answer questions to try and learn a little bit about what it means to be human and why technology hates us. All advice is final and legally binding. James, can I see the disclaimer?
I mean, is it really necessary at this point? I mean, do people
Yes.
really? Well, then yes.
Yes, cool. Legal disclaimer. You can't sue us. Take all this advice. It's all final, baby.
What? I'm sorry, you
James-
can't sue us or take this advice. That's what we're going
Sorry,
with.
There was a comma there, but you can't. You can sue us if you. No, don't sue us. Take this advice if you would like to, is I guess what I would say if I had to kind of come to a roaring conclusion somewhere. Yeah, Riz is jotting it down. Look, James, this week I've got a real special treat for you with the feature question. I've kind of done something I've never done before. I'll get into it a bit later. It was kind of a bit of a fun. It was sort of a fun one from my perspective, kind of
Yep.
vis-a-vis where sort of I sourced it and how it's all looking. Do you have anything that any pre-show business you need to get off your chest, or should we sort of jump straight into the old advice?
The only pre-show
Trough.
business that I would like to address is I apologize for David. You do remember that 1 to 2 weeks ago, you did piss off the entire witch community, and I feel like that may have poisoned the digital well that is all of our audio
Oh.
equipment. So
That's possibly a curse type
Yeah.
scenario that's
Yeah.
occurred with the witches. Do
I
they have?
yeah, no, because I
do they have
specifically
ability to
remember at
curse
the time.
technology?
I remember at the time specifically saying to you, "Please don't antagonize the
Right.
witch community." And
Well, we
you
can check the tape. 'cause I
Yeah,
think
but
it went
you
down
laughed
the
in their
same
face,
We
dude.
can-
and now our whole shit is rat fucked. So I blame you.
I didn't laugh in that. You're actually misrepresenting. I feel like what you're trying to do is you're trying to blame me for the way that people have taken what I've said and interpreted it. And that's actually, I feel a little bit like you were kind of attacking me a little
There
bit.
was no other way to
Trying
interpret it.
divert blame.
It was a
I don't know
blatant
what you would
attack on
mean
the
by
witch
that.
community.
Words are complicated and have, like, you can interpret them differently. Tone is really important, is what I would say to that.
Well, there's
Um,
really no other way to interpret. Bring it on, you witchy losers, is what you screamed at the
It's
top
not.
of your lungs. Okay,
We
so
can check the tape on that one. I'm not sure. I think you might be kind of misremembering some things about that.
verbatim, direct
Perhaps
quote.
deliberately in order to victimize me. But James, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, if I can and if I would. So I want to give you a little bit of a heads up on the forensics activities that I've been doing in order to gather advice. So I broadened my net that I'm casting each week as I gather these questions.
Have you been
And I've
snooping again?
discovered- I've been snooping, and you know what I found? I found that one of the funniest things is there is this intersection of relationship and life advice that exists.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like this question from Very Bad Mother on Reddit, who says, "The Huckleberry app turned my baby into a Sims game. I used it and got my nanny on board. It works insanely well at predicting my baby's sleep. I know it's not necessarily the case for everyone, but since it works so well, whenever I take over in the afternoon from the nanny, I know exactly when the little king's needs are at. It's literally like I'm loading up my family Sims game." So I texted a friend of mine who's a parent, and I was like, "Hey, have you heard of this app?" And she's like, "Yeah, my friend uses it, has the exact same experience." And you can basically like use these apps to like start to program your child to sort of do what you need when you need, sort of like The Sims.
Oh, okay.
Where
Interesting.
it's sort of like if you're like, I want the kid to nap at 2 p.m., it's like, here are the things you need to do around that to make that happen. And then it's like, if you want them to be hungry at this time, and it sort of lets you kind of
Yeah, that one's
program
real
your
easy. Do
child.
you want your kid to be hungry at around 2 p.m.? Starve them for 7 to 9 hours.
Don't feed them. Easy. Done.
I'm sorry. It's thrown me for a loop off the bat because a parent has gone to a website, a forum, and said, "Greetings, everyone. You shall know me by Very Bad Mother."
Very Bad Mother.
Yeah,
What
that's-
a bold username.
Yeah, that's
isn't
the
it?
name I want to go with. Anyway, guys, I've been gamifying my entire relationship with my whole family, and more importantly, my children. Now,
Is it cool?
I found an app that seems to be some type of cheat sheet to manipulating people. Is that what this is?
Now, if you had to categorize this, would you say this is ethical or not? Don't really care. It's already done. I'm already programming that little guy's brain. I'm putting the ones and twos in there, and he's outputting what I need. You
Uh,
know,
it's not my fault that it works. It's not my fault that it works.
it's not my fault that apps are so powerful that they just like work now. You know,
So
it's just a lot.
and they've got the nanny on board, which is interesting.
Well, yeah, it's the other fascinating thing is this was on an advice forum, and they didn't really ask any advice. They just posted this, and a lot of people wrote back, and they were like, "Yeah, same. It's really fucking weird." Hey,
Look, we don't always have to be the originators of the advice. We can be
No.
a source from which advice is pissed out into the internet.
sort of
So
an advice spigot, if you will, connected to a tank of advice.
yeah, exactly. Like an advice dick.
Yeah.
Pissing advice juice into the internet is exactly.
Well, you made it gross.
No, that's exactly what you said. I was just bringing
I
it
said
into.
spigot, which is like
Yeah,
sort of a tap.
I was very 2022ing it is what I was doing there, but I did
you
take
damn
exactly what
confused.
you said, right?
Was
Where
the-
where
so
the
it's-
advice dick pissing advice juice into the internet. That's a quote by David.
I hate it.
I want to
That's-
see.
First of all, I didn't say that.
See
Second of all,
that
that's
tweet. Yeah.
second of all, that's extremely not poggers, James. Did I use that right?
Oh, just. Oh,
If
this
you're
is
gonna
why
put words
this is
in
why
my
the
mouth,
witch
I'm gonna
community
punish
fucking
you.
hates you, dude. Because you just
They don't hate me. That's
anything that gets in that little gob of yours just comes out as acid. I don't know what it is.
you fucking.
Yeah,
piece of shit.
oh,
can't
that
believe
was
you're doing this
hard
to
to listen to. Audio
I can't
acid.
believe. Listen. I've come on this podcast. I'm a bit high on cold and flu. All right, and you're coming at me with this energy right now. It's very antagonistic. You keep bringing it back to this witch
Look.
thing, and what it feels like is that you're trying to encourage them to curse me. I feel like if
That's,
they hadn't mentioned it, they
I
would've
would
forgot
never.
about it.
I would never encourage them to do it. God, I wish I had some form of any type of inspirational quote that I could flash on the screen to make them want to go after you some more. And as Rizard said, David was quite aggressive towards that subculture. He absolutely was. He was, and across an entire episode, by the way, not just one
That's-
segment. He kept bringing
Well,
it back
'cause you-
up to reiterate. It
You
was
know-
fucked up.
You kept bringing it up.
That's fucked up to watch. And
I-
now,
I feel very
and
gaslit
also, I
right
just
now.
want to mention, never had a technical issue on this podcast once in the 7 times that we've done it. Yet David, what does he do? He pisses all over the witch community with his shitty acid advice, and then he screams at them and calls them all losers, and now everything's fucked. So
What a vivid picture you paint, James, of the advice piss.
I wish there was a Huckleberry
yeah.
app to fix my relationship with this guy and what I should do after he's pissed off every witch on the planet who has a connection to the internet.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You should work on that. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of like market bandwidth on that one if it's just for me. But I mean, you're welcome to kind of start up a startup and develop that app and kind of go from there. What would you call it? There's be something Lee, right? Like they're all called that now. Like Flashly or like Calendarly. Like you got to have like a
Oh, like Spookly or like
yeah.
Witchly or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Well, I
get what
was
you're saying.
thinking what it's specifically about insulating, like fixing me. I guess.
Oh, fixing you?
is what you were saying. Is that not what you meant?
An
Or
app
like repairing
to fix
our relationship.
an app to fix David. It's hard to think of things that are impossible and could never happen. You know what I mean? It's hard to sort of put a name on something that like couldn't.
Batemanly.
Yeah, like it's kind of like when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Like you just don't know what's gonna happen. There is no way to fix him, and that's part of the fun.
Unfixly. I'm not good at names.
You got it. Yeah. We'll workshop it. You
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll take that one offline. That's not for this investor call. We'll take
Yeah,
it
we'll
offline.
we'll take it offline.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
About it. I listen personally. I think if you're programming your baby and it's working, you got nothing to worry about. Get a
Yeah.
baby to sleep. Apparently, it's hard. I hear. Like that's chill. I just wouldn't necessarily tell that to other people in your life because I think people might. They could be a bit judgy about it. Maybe.
This person's found the cheat sheet to, raising a kid. It's hard to
Take it. Take the dub.
Yeah,
Take the
just
dub.
take the dub. I'm in hell. I'm in hell with you. Okay. See what I mean? Just there's something weird about when you say modern phrases. It's very, hey cool kids. What's
It
up, cool
does feel
kids?
like
You know what I mean? It's
you know what it-
real.
You know what it feels like? It feels like your uncle who's like a bit too old trying to like chat to you at like a family Christmas dinner. And just like everything he says is like slightly wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you and like you know he's trying, but you're like you wish he would just stop and just be himself, but he can't because
Yeah.
he's too far in now.
You and I want you, and I mean this in the best way possible. Okay.
Yeah.
But you vividly remind me of the bug man from the first Men in Black movie who's like hiding inside the human skin and it like doesn't really fit him right and he's sort of like saying, you know, things that don't really make sense and he's like trying to pretend to be a human. You're that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you said so you thought that wasn't offensive.
Oh no, sorry. I said sorry, what I
Just
said
to
was
clarify
yeah, just
what
to
you
clarify.
meant.
I said that you should take this in the best way possible.
What is what does that even mean?
You know, that really
What is the possible?
it sounds yeah, I get it, but it sounds a little bit like a you problem now. You know what I mean? It sounds a little bit like a you problem and I'm already sort of done with it, but you know.
Yeah, I just for the humble viewer, let me see if I can pop him up there. That's sort of what he looks like. If I sort of is that about right?
Yeah, that's
Is that
perfect.
what you kind of how
And
you
what's
feel?
what's
Yeah.
great about it is the green hues from it have really sort of translated well with
Dissolved
the
in. Yeah.
yeah. And
By design.
exactly.
James.
And it makes it look way less terrifying this way.
Can I look through his eyes? Maybe. Hang on. Oh, not quite. It's
So,
quite hard.
like I'm looking at my good friend David.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay.
Now
Yeah,
say
enough.
he's sort of like one of those things that you'd say.
Oh, do a
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Uh, blood. Jesus. I saw that on my For You page,
Okay.
and it was epic, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Epic.
Yeah, did that?
No, fucking
They don't say that
crushed
anymore?
it, dude. No, he
Okay.
crushed it. That's really good. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't say epic. Okay. Yeah. That shit. Great job, man. That was poggers.
Oh.
Oof. How did that sit with you?
Oh. Mwah, chef's kiss. Audio acid.
Yeah,
Audio
I think
acid.
yeah, I think sometimes what you have to appreciate, James, is that when you nail it on the first go, it can be kind of hard to accept, I guess.
Definitely. That's what's
so
happened.
It's probably just jealousy from your sort of perspective around
Definitely.
how approachable and relatable I come across.
Can you take the picture off you so we can just sort of get onto the next part?
Yeah,
just get on to the next part of the podcast.
I would love to.
Yeah, no, just take the picture off. Take the picture off from that, and then we'll get so displeased with that one.
If we had like a bump wow sound effect, that's where that would kind of
that's where that would have been played.
Go. That was I like that it took me 2 goes to realize what you were doing.
It's
which
fine.
Is really embarrassing.
I lapped back around with the joke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I felt you pick up my joke slack.
And
James,
it is
let
heavy.
me ask, it's
yeah.
Listen, heavy is the head, man. I don't know what to tell you. You knew what you were getting into
Just
when you signed up.
Just saying things now. You're just saying words. Let's do that advice thing that this podcast is about.
I kept
what do you
trying
reckon?
to, and then you kept not letting me. You do this a lot, where I will try and segue, and you'll hold us back, and then you'll blame me.
Wow,
it's sort of I don't know what's going on with you, but it's a little
very projecty, David. Very projecty today. It's fine. Hey, it's fine. We'll recenter, and now we'll move on. Bugman, let's do it.
This one comes from the Voodoo Clan on Reddit, and this is a problem I think a lot of people have had. By the way, some great names so far.
Yeah, and stop bringing it back to the the magical community, please.
That's not.
I fucking hate witches. This question's on the Voodoo Man. It's like, come on, dude.
That was just a name on Reddit. I'm not. Don't be like that. Don't be that guy. They would have forgot about it if you didn't keep fucking bringing it up. Anyway, this one comes from the Voodoo Clan on Reddit, and I'll hear no more about it. Thank you very much, kindly. Now, this is a problem I think we've all faced. I have a guest staying with me. Also, uh, as with anything, let's just really dig in before we just say, hey, talk to them about it, because it's not helpful to anyone. I have a guest staying with me for an extended period of time. I have a 2-bedroom home, and I use the extra bedroom as an office. I have the office set up as I have the office. So, okay, I have a guest staying with me, and they got the second bedroom as the office, so similar to what we both do. And they've set up the office as this person's bedroom while he's staying.
Okay.
Normal. It's a spare room.
Yeah.
However, he keeps taking naps in the middle of the day in the living room. My home has an open floor plan, so the kitchen, living, and dining room are all open to each other.
Yeah.
When he naps on the couch, I feel like I can't use any of those rooms for fear of waking him, which is an issue since those rooms are now the only rooms available with table space where I can set up my laptop to work since he has taken over the office. Is it out of line for me to ask him to nap in his room instead of the living room? It is a common space, but him sleeping there really limits my ability to use it. This is crazy. Someone to be like, yo, use my office. I've set up a mattress on the floor. Don't even trip, dog. Just go for it. And for him, and at like 12:45 p.m. after eating a big lunch, he's like, I'm just going to close my eyes on the couch. What?
Hey, guys, time to set up for my sleep. Yeah, put my sandwich down. I'll just sit right here and turn off. This is my loud zone, dude.
Psychotic.
Like,
this is the only place I can be loud. That's why you have the office.
The only way you fix this is complete ownership of the space. You come in, you be as dude, fucking even turn the TV on and like switch it to Spotify and fucking like pump some music, and you're like, "Oh, this is how I work, dude." Yeah, it gets pretty loud, doesn't it? Fuck him.
These are my work jams.
Dude.
Have you seen, you know how on like on building ledges and stuff, to prevent pigeons, they'll put like spikes so the pigeons can't land?
Yeah.
Could you do sort of something like that where, all you can do is sit on the couch, and if you try and lie down, it's got those sort of spikes that they use to prevent homeless people from sleeping on?
Yeah, temporarily.
Could you do something like that?
Yeah, make it really just uncomfortable for anyone to. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just make the space not sleep friendly.
As uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some Philips Hue lights, set those to just flash on and off. Them. Yeah.
Randomly. Yeah. Different colors. Could you add, like, because I mean we've got sound,
yeah,
we've got sight. What other sensors could we kind of think about? Could we get like a could we get like a giant industrial fan and just blow it on his face? Is that gonna help?
Stink. You knew it was coming.
Oh, James,
you knew it was coming.
We can't do it. It's my house. I don't want my house to be all stinked up.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not saying it has to be a bad smell. It could just be a smell that he doesn't enjoy.
For example?
Oh, I'm such a lover of scents and smells, so it's hard for me to sort of pick one that I don't like. But
I feel like most people are like that.
Coriander.
I think anyone's anti-scent.
Coriander smells disgusting. It smells like squished ants. Gross.
Raw broccoli? Get some raw broccoli and just run a bit of water over it. It smells like farts.
Sorry? I'm sorry?
So,
that one by me again.
When I used to work at Sizzler, the first task you would do when you opened the restaurant in the morning is you had to rinse all the broccoli. And rinsing broccoli is the worst smell ever.
What the fuck are you talking about? Rinse the broccoli?
Have you not? So if you get
dude, Sizzler really known for its broccoli. Rinse the broccoli? How much broccoli was in that store? 2 heads?
A lot goes into the salads. No, it was like 40 florets a day. Like, it was a lot. We did a lot of broccoli. It was in like half of the salads.
Step number 1, rinse the broccoli for the day.
That was the first
Hey guys,
thing
we go through 8,000 potatoes a day. Should step 1 be peel some fucking potatoes? Nah, dude. Step number 1, get that broccoli rinsed.
We didn't have to. The potatoes came pre-made. You didn't have to do anything with it.
Wow.
The skins came
first. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potato doxing.
And you did the cheese toast the night before, so yeah,
the night before.
Well, because you have to freeze it because that binds the gluten to the butter and the cheese.
I'm sorry?
So what you do is you make the cheese bread paste,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
apply it to the loaf, and then you stack the loaf up. You do like 30 of those in a container.
yeah,
Then you freeze the container, and
yeah.
it binds the gluten to the dairy. Then when you pull it out in the morning, it slowly defrosts, and that's all kind of fused in there.
Wow.
Yeah, the more you know
Way
about
more
it.
scientific at Sizzler than I thought what was going on there, to be honest.
Well, I mean, if a 15-year-old can do it, it's not that fucking scientific, is it?
Wow. Okay. Taking shots at the 15-year-olds now,
that.
dude.
Not
Yeah.
like that.
Because
Not
every
like that. I just
15-year-old
mean-
can't hack everything now. Are you fucking stupid?
When I was 15 is what I mean.
Why are you trying to
15-year-olds now, yeah. 15-year-olds now are so fucking
say
smart.
something nice about a community that you love now to balance out the bad energy that you have soaked into the fibers of this podcast?
Community that I like, something good. I like how open the
Say something great about the
Open's not the
people of
right word.
Quora. You love Quora.
Oh, that's hard.
You love Quora. You're on Quora all the time.
Yeah, for this show, it's
Say something. Say something lovely about the people of Quora.
I like how everyone feels safe to respond to everything regardless of their expertise.
That's
the nicest
that
thing I can think of
was
to
not
say.
a compliment. That was that. Okay, I'll 2022 what you just said. Hey, even though you're brain dead as fuck, it's so good that you feel comfortable spitting your dumb cunt shit onto these wonderful pages of this website, is what you just said. But in a nice
you
way.
asked me to do Quora. I don't know why you fucking pen me in like that.
Okay. Say something nice about a community you love.
I really like the Reddit writing subreddit community. Like, there's a few really good spaces in there that are like actually good, but there's like 3 of them, and they're genuinely insightful. And it's mostly postgrad students. Yeah.
Okay. No, sure. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Reddit
I
is the
like-
place that you've gone with that has the nice
I like,
people.
well, I mean, the 2 communities I really like are Waypoint and Range Touch. They're just like really inclusive and like academic and interesting, and also like funny and chill. Those like the 2 places I love the most.
And why
looking at me.
no. You just praised
You give me a fucking
you
look.
praised 2 faceless corporations. What's great
Not
about
corporations.
what's great about the average Joe Blow who's kicking it on the Waypoint?
Waypoint in particular, there's a way that they've kind of crafted their community where it is technically like games journalism, but it's very much like the kind of modernist approach where it's very similar to the stuff I work on. So you can have these really in-depth conversations where people are interested in talking about the topics instead of yelling their opinions at each other.
It's great. Love it.
Did you
What's
nod
up?
off for a second there? What happened?
Huh?
I just heard some weird sounds in the feedback there. Did something happen on your end with your
I think
microphone?
it's-
It kind of
I-
sounded like
No, I think it's like
snoring,
the
or I
people
don't know
up.
if that
I think
was
it's the people
feedback.
upstairs, to be honest. They've been pretty noisy lately, so
right. That was
Yeah.
coming from upstairs.
yeah,
On your
it's weird.
microphone that lets no exterior noise in.
Well,
It's upstairs.
again, yeah, we've had a lot of tech issues, you know how it is. But no, that was great. Yeah, cool.
So that wasn't the sound
No, don't. Oh,
snoring. Okay,
I
I'm
don't
just
think
checking
so.
because it
Yeah,
really sounded like that. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think we solved this pretty handily. Attack all the sensors and just really keep them out of there.
Not
Done
quite.
and
Not quite. You were
Huh?
talking about weaponizing the smell of broccoli really quick.
done.
So you think
Yeah,
washing
rinse that shit.
broccoli smells bad?
Put a fan, waft the broccoli into the. I don't know how to prove this to you, other
Right.
than to do an experiment.
Because I love broccoli,
Next time,
so I feel like you're
like broccoli as
you're
well.
shitting on the broccoli
One thing.
community a little bit, but that's fine.
There's no such thing as a broccoli. You can't just. Not everything has a. God, there's definitely a broccoli community, isn't there?
Have you been
That's
on
for
the
sure, I think.
internet? Have you been
I
on the
try and
internet?
avoid it.
There's not
I
a
try and avoid
broccoli
it.
community.
Yeah, yeah. Shit. This is the nice thing about not being on social media is it's really hard to cancel me. But also I'm now worried that they'll try and find other means. Like they'll try and dox me to, the broccoli community will come after me, find out where I live,
It's found a website called
That's, I guess, what I'm
Broccoli
worried
City.
Oh no.
Where
Broccoli City.
they're doing great stuff
What do
over
they
there
do
with
there?
they just believe in healthy earth starts, They believe that a healthy Earth starts with a healthy community, and to ensure they reach their community wellness goals, they focus on, food, environmental justice, social health and education, physical activities, a shared love of broccoli, all that regular
The
stuff.
the regular normal stuff that one does.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, let me ask you a question though. Broccoli or broccolini? What's your preference if you have to pick one? Or are they for different moods?
Wow. Okay, it's a little sorry, but it's a little rich. Okay. That someone who claims they like broccoli and is part of and is pro broccoli community just came out and was like, "Hey guys, broccoli or broccolini, which one?" You fake broccoli fan. You tear up your membership card right now, you fake broccoli fan.
It hasn't arrived in the
My
mail yet.
God. Oh, which one's better, guys? Broccoli or broccolini? What? Marry one, fuck one, kill one.
You don't have a strong opinion?
They're both wonderful.
This feels like you're dodging the question.
Broccolini is...
Yeah, go on.
Broccolini is obviously better, but yeah. I'm not trying to paint a target on my back.
I really felt you try to maneuver out of that one unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
James, I have to be honest. I think you're right. I think you have to go full like passive aggressive, mess up the environment.
Just fuck it right up.
If you could mess with the climate as well, like if it's hot out, keep it hot inside. If it's cold out, make it even colder. Like if you could kind of mess with the thermostat, because that makes it hard to sleep.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah, no. What I like about that is, here's you wanted to assault another sense. Let's go with eyes, and let's crank up that temp, and then let's get those clothes off, all the way off. And hey, it'd be like, hey, dude, I'm sorry, but I fucking from 12 till 2. I do my emails naked at the dining table
every day
while my broccoli is drying that I've just rinsed in front of my fan that's blowing right at us.
This could backfire in a big way. What if he's really into broccoli and also being nude? Like, what if he starts napping nude?
Oh,
I just think there's a lot of room for error here.
You think, you think like you're setting the expectation of like behavior in that space.
You're basically saying it's okay to do this because like when you go to someone's house and they're like, oh no, you can keep wearing your shoes because they're wearing their shoes. You're like, oh, that's cool. Right. I think this could be that kind of, you're broadening the boundary too far and you might have a new
yeah. And he's like, oh, we can, dude. He's like, dude, this is a dicks out zone. Hell yeah! And then he jumps in.
He's raw dogging it on the couch.
Fuck yeah!
Getting the dong all over your shays. You don't want that.
I hate getting the dong all over my shays. You know that. That's my number one pet peeve. It's my number one.
Saying to me, James is texting me every week and he's saying, "Oh, dong on the shays again."
Dong on the bloody shays.
I don't know that. Can you just move house? Can he have this flat and you just move some? Can you get an Airbnb? Might be the easiest solution here. He owns the whole space. You just get a hotel room or something.
Yeah. And to sort of set the level of expectation of advice that you're going to receive here, the advice is never going to be have a conversation with them. Never. We're doing everything to avoid that because that's...
You can never have that conversation.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what are we trying to solve problems on easy mode? No, dude.
Emotional maturity? No, thanks. I want to avoid the issue for as long as possible and make things worse.
If I can never address it, even better.
Yeah. James, listen, let me tell you, while I get into the feature question of today's episode, I would love for anyone in the chat to just sound off broccoli or broccolini. I'm taking a poll now.
Oh my God.
Just taking a poll just to see which I just want to see which community we need to pander to the most moving forward.
Yeah.
In case, you know what I'm saying. Feature question for this episode, James, is quite a doozy, and I've got I'll tell you the special twist I've got. I want to go through the question and just see what we think about it. And then I have some juicy follow-up information that might change our perspectives. I want to, there's kind of like a bit of a, context shift sort of thing.
Right. A bait and switch.
I wouldn't say bait and switch. I would say sort of, I give you one thing and then you think it's that. And then I kind of flip it around. Kind of do a little swap.
Yeah. So here's what I do. And hey guys, this is nothing like a bait and switch. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this out as bait. And then right at the last second, I'm going to just change it with something else. The differences are subtle but many, but, you know.
I'm going to Freaky Friday it. Just like, whip it around.
Oh, okay. I'm back on board now. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You like that. James, this one, per the title of the episode, this one is about John and a bit of a conspiracy around John. The title of this one is The New Hire Who Showed Up Is Not the Same Person We Interviewed.
Fuck yes.
It's so
Fuck
good.
Yes.
This is like,
dude,
this gives me life, this question.
Hiring out my interview process. You're like, dude, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to this. And it's like, and dude, I have like 9 job interviews that I have to go for. What am I going to go to all of them? You shop it out, probably on Fiverr, for $7.
Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a situation currently unfolding at my husband's office. So I'm a very amused bystander and thought I'd get your opinion on this craziness. And as it's currently unfolding, once we get to the end, I'll give you the real-time updates, and they are delicious.
Hell yeah.
My husband works in IT and is on the leadership team at a mid-sized private company. Basically, the position I'm in. He was part of a panel that recently interviewed a number of folks for an open position on his team. They are entirely remote. They had a few candidates for a first and second round, and one made it to a third final round before an offer. John, not his real name, accepted the offer and started last week. Good so far. Except,
congrats, John.
It's not the John except James, it's not the John my husband remembers. My husband was confused and said the following things were odd. John has different hair and now wears glasses.
Yeah. John's eyesight got real bad over the past 7 days. Yeah.
My favorite thing about these is there's such easy errors to correct. Well, like you could just wear fake. Anyway, John is talking excessively. like if you were gonna commit to this fake, this swap, swap thing, these are easy things to correct for. John is talking extensively about working in a garage because his 3 children and wife are home. In the interview, he made references to being single and was visibly in an indoor desk area. John can't answer a number of questions that they previously discussed in the interview, things pretty pivotal to the position. My husband describes John as being aloof and pretty timid. Sorry, my husband describes John from the interview as being aloof and pretty timid, whereas John now is confident and my husband describes John, the person doing the job, as being aloof and pretty timid, whereas John they interviewed was confident and articulate when they interviewed him.
See what you did? Yeah, but see what you did just there? This is why I think same John, or even if it's not the same John, see how easy it is to mess these things up?
Oh, so quickly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a different guy that interviewed for it, was it? Look, that goof happens all the time. You know, you've just messed it up somewhere. You've forgotten the details. You're misremembering.
You got it wrong. Yeah. So, that's real victim blaming of you, James.
It's real gaslighting
for today's episode.
Really
which you've done like 4 times today. So, Did you wake up and today's flashcard prompt for today was gaslight David as much as you can? Is that sort of what you kind of woke up to?
My vision board today said, take no guff. And I figured, you know what? I'm not going to today. And I'm gonna call out David for calling out all of those communities. Because quite frankly, if we don't address the root cause. Oh, wait. Flip the camera. This guy over here, right? If we don't address the root issue, which is David, then these problems are going to continue to occur, okay? The technology is going to break down even further because he's going to piss off more groups, more communities, and then we're going to have weird breakdowns in tech. And
feels like you're deflecting because you got the tech wrong.
I got the tech wrong? Tech?
Huh?
Tech has been absolutely.
I was talking to myself.
Look, David, this is an offline issue. This is an offline issue.
Take this offline.
That you brought online because you offended a group of magical people. Okay,
James,
with ill intent, nefarious intentions. You pissed them off. Dude, I told you this years ago when you pissed off the Subway community, when you got real high and mighty about how
I
much you
stand by
fucking
that.
hate Subway
I
sandwiches.
fucking stand by it.
Oh my God.
It's so much of a hassle. It's so much of a hassle. It's not even worth it. It hasn't gotten better over time. It's gotten worse with
See,
COVID.
I don't want to get you riled up because you're just going to get back into it. You're going to refresh their memory. You're going to show up on the r/Subway page again, right at the top, and they go, "Hey, this fucking idiot's back on the internet. Let's shit on him again." That's what's going to happen,
James,
and I'm going to get caught in the crossfire.
What's our email address, James? How can people reach the show?
They're not going to. There isn't one. I'm sorry. The email address is david@gmail.com. Send it all his way.
That was a real safe bet. I was going to get people to email me directly their Subway horror stories and build up a case. Fuck, now I wish I still had Twitter. Anyway, he is convinced this is not the person they hired. I agreed that all those things together make this very odd, but each one could have a valid explanation. Agreed. I told him the most likely explanation is the hiring committee simply mixed up the candidates, or HR did, and the wrong John was offered and accepted. John is a common name. He agreed, but said only one candidate made it to the third round, and this is really unlikely. Other candidates have been sent rejections before the third round even occurred.
Yeah.
He's confident they couldn't have mixed it up. All this is a bit moot, as my husband is in his notice period, and we're moving to a new company in a few weeks.
Oh.
But he feels like he's going crazy.
Doesn't even give a shit.
My question is,
yeah,
doesn't care. My question is this a thing in our mostly virtual world? Are people paying others to conduct interviews for them? And then she goes on to say the situation is actively unfolding, so I'm sure I'll have updates. And then I'll tell you about those updates. But how does this sit with you so far?
What are you
thinking?
I am all on board for hiring someone out to do my interview for me. I think that's hey, look, they want to keep pushing us towards this gig economy, then we're going to keep coming up with new gigs, dude. And our new gig is I do your interview for you. Because, you know,
you interview me, I interview you.
Yeah, being good at interviews is all those like fucking Harvard Business Review fucking things say being good at interviews is a skill. And, you know, so why not hire that out to the best person that has the best skill set for getting me. Hey, I just want the job, okay? You're still telling them all my details and my facts and my figures, but we're putting a more personable representation of me into the mix. And I think
who's just like better at this particular task. I think that shows initiative.
Guys, you should be hiring me based on my rad initiative that I just took to get this job.
Now,
let's not call it duping. I wouldn't call it that.
Duping. No. But if I turn up to an interview and I said,
I'm gonna die. Perfect.
Yeah. I've matched up the shoulders and all.
That is flawless. And now you'd be a more personable version of me.
Hey, it's me, James. I'm still fun and loud, but this time a bit more approachable. I'm great at problem solving, but also know when to speak up and know when to I'm really great at marketing digitally, baby. And that's why you should hire me to be your digital marketer for your business. And let me tell you why. Okay. I have the experience. I have the skills. I'm a fun guy around the office. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else.
Notoriously not.
But I'm being more personable.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. Let me tell you something else. I've got great experience in this field. Okay, I generate great MQLs. They got a great conversion rate to SQLs. I'm great at SEO. I'm great at SSO. I'm great at SES. I'm great at SCQ. All of the S's, I got them bundled up. I got them locked up. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else about me, James, your friend that you're going to want to hire for your job. Oh. I'll do it for less money than you would think, but still the right amount. I don't want to overcharge you because I'm honest like that. It's me, a more personable James. How's that? Just checking in.
How did that go? Look,
Was it good?
Look, I love your initiative. Okay,
Thank you.
Nothing bad can be said about your initiative. That you've got top tier initiative. Okay,
I know.
That's great. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do, James. You know how great your initiative is. However,
Oh, it's just it's
this is making me
What's-
realize that I don't need this service because you've actually done, and this is like, I don't want this to be like a bad testimonial for this new business that you're running, but you've actually done me a disservice.
oh, no.
So
I
because
did it worse than you would have.
yeah, I crush interviews, if I'm honest. It's the funny thing is though, once you get me into the business,
That's when you.
they
fuck up.
might be saying, "Did we hire the same person from the interview?"
They might have that question,
Yeah.
might they?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they
S-
could be asking that. But look
Yeah.
at how friendly you seem.
I'm so friendly
Look
and
at-
I'm so approachable. My approachable
Look
nature.
at how my t-shirt definitely connects to my shoulders.
Wow, this is, I'll tell you what. If you're going for some live editing position, you've got it, mate. Because this is,
Thank you.
I don't know what you're doing or how you're doing it, but I'm loving every second of it.
I have to be honest, I didn't have a visual bit for this week because I kept telling myself, I was like, it's an audio podcast for some people. I've got
Yeah.
to stop doing prop comedy. Too late.
Oh no,
This is you talking.
dude, you are
I'm still
so
you.
you're so deep on the prop comedy. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because I'm not funny otherwise, so I feel like that's my only avenue.
hey, you've got, you know,
I
and
got
then-
moxie
and
and nothing else.
oh, so much moxie.
Full of moxie. Just
Yeah.
energy, enthusiasm. I feel like, 9/10 of comedy is the enthusiasm and the commitment. I definitely have that.
Yeah,
I just don't know if I have the funny part of it kind of down pat yet.
yeah,
It's
and
a
that'll
comedy.
come. You know, that'll come. And
But yeah, well, it comes with experience. And I actually have plenty of that in the space that we're in. So
yeah,
I actually did a show called The Advisory for many years and was very successful. It used to be called Two Dudes from Brisbane. So I think you should hire me for this podcast.
see what?
I see you've cottoned on to my
no.
method here.
See,
Oh,
what I
okay, yeah.
hate about what you've done here is this is really, we're now dueling it out. Quite frankly. There we go. But what I love about,
I've done a much better Photoshop job.
oh,
than
you
That's-
definitely
yours is
have. Let me
ridiculous.
I'll just sort of sneak in
You
back
got to
behind
probably
here.
adjust yourself a little bit.
There
Oh.
you go. I'll just do you real big like that because that's sort of your energy anyway.
So mine's quite seamless, and I can. It looks like I'm really here, but what you've done is you've just pasted a JPEG. So I think that's why you should hire me for this digital editing live
David?
position.
David,
It's
Can
me,
you-
James. What's up?
can you wake up, please? You seem to have really snoozed out there for a second.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know.
And
what
here's
he's doing.
here's sort of the
actually
energy. Here's the energy that I would bring as David is. Hey guys, I'm not snoozing right now. I'm just having a real good think about stuff. Because I like to think about things real deeply.
That's
And
because you're a fucking nerd. It's me, James, your friend. You're a fucking nerd.
and what I can say is,
You're an unrelatable nerd who doesn't know about young people. You fucking nerd.
first of all, as David, fuck every witch ever. And second of all,
I think that's an unfair characterization of my
what's
friend
that?
David.
David,
David, you shouldn't talk about yourself like
hey,
that.
this is me, and I'll be me, and I'm doing me, all right? And this is exactly the type of shit that I say. And here's another great thing about me. I promise I'm not Patrick Bateman in real life, and I won't kill you and wear your skin.
That sounds like something
Good.
that Patrick Bateman would say.
What's that?
Is this bit this bit might be too conceptual.
You have
Um,
absolutely crushed it on that one. Hey,
Thank you.
you know,
I was channeling the goofs and the gaffs.
you've channeled it deep into your gizzards, and I'm a big fan.
Right.
Look,
What do you do in this scenario if because like I'm imagining like to start with, you kind of go like, maybe I'm imagining it, but I feel like after the second or third day, you'd be like, this is a different guy. This is a different guy.
yeah, there's going to be some pretty landmark details that are going to start to give it away.
The glasses.
The big bushy beard that he has now that he definitely
The big
didn't
beard
have
that he didn't have.
yesterday in
2
the
days.
interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to grow. Maybe it's a fake beard now. That seems weird though. Compensation, overcompensating.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what else can I say other than I don't care. I don't care about your hiring process. And I think that hiring out my interview to someone else because I'm
Yeah.
busy. You know, I'm doing stuff. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and again, just soaking everyone in my initiative. Let's face it. And you know that just
Is
shows
that
that.
before or after the advice piss?
I mean, I really don't want to tell you how to live your life. You know, you sort of do. You do it in any which way you want to do, any order you want to do.
Okay, so the
I'm just
order's not
saying,
specific.
not order specific. I'm just saying, fuck these. So, ever since I started my own business, I'm so
You're going so
anti.
hard.
I'm so anti. Like, dude, just even having to like, if your interview process is in person, then I'm just gonna shop it out now from now on.
Mhm.
Because why not? I have to
I'll do
drive
it for
somewhere
you.
now.
I'll do it. I
What?
can talk business lingo. I'm like,
What
I
if
can do
I?
that.
What if I send someone in with an iPad and they just hold it up in front of their face and we Zoom call me in,
Oh,
and then it's me there doing
yeah.
it, but I've sent
Okay.
someone in to do it for me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Does
You
that still
think?
count? Can I do that?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You could just get them to like tape an iPad to their forehead, maybe.
Okay, no, the dude
Um,
might have to talk to him for a second. They're like, "So, James, so great for you to come in and have this chat with us today. Thank you so much for coming in." And they're gonna say, "Actually, I'm Jeff. Hold for James."
I'm James's.
And then he sort of like Skypes me in, and then just
Like
sort of
his
does that
telecommute
one, yeah,
kind of
and then just
bot.
sort of pops it.
Do you think? I mean, you have to have good Wi-Fi for that because I could imagine you're halfway through the conversation. It's like, oh, the call's cutting out. I've just accidentally put that on live preview instead of the edit mode. Just give me a second with what I'm working
Yeah,
through here on the kind of live editing bay. I don't think this is going to line up, so I'm just going to quickly do a little scoot edit. Oh,
just
perfect. Is that
nailed
it?
it, nailed it,
Yeah.
and you've
Nothing wrong
still
here.
managed to line up the shoulders. So that is, you've got the job. If I'm hiring out
Thank
my
you.
interview, you've got the job, mate.
It's me, iPadman.
Hey, well,
Brett, it's me, Brett, the iPadman.
right, but Brett iPadman still, it's still a person on the other end of that phone
It's
call,
still
though.
James on this
Yeah.
other end of the phone.
Hi,
Scrolling,
hello, it's
getting
me, James, via Brett iPadman. Is what you're
I
saying.
love the idea of like you're like, hey Jeff, could you take a sip of water for me? I want to take a pause to
Oh,
consider the answer to this question. You know, like you might have because when you to buy time, you're like, take a sip of water.
see,
Jot a note down.
I
Thank
don't
you
want,
for asking.
I don't want my iPadman to sort of need me to tell them to do that. I just want, when I take a pregnant pause, you know, or a contemplative pause, they just know to have a sip of water and maybe even sort of angle me off like I'm looking up a little bit. You know what I mean? And then he puts his arm up to my face on the iPad. You know what I mean?
Oh, do I know what you mean, James? I can't stop knowing what you mean.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Superstore where this is like a part of the plot where like one of the characters I think is like in hospital because they just had a baby and they sort of they force one of the other employees to kind of like strap a cage to their forehead and sort of walk around the store doing their regular job, but they kind of have this apparatus. There's an iPad on the back with a rear camera so she can kind of see what's going on behind as well,
Perfect.
which is really exciting. So there's my pop culture reference for you this week.
Fantastic. Never heard of that show before,
It's a bit of
but
fun. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Is it a bit of fun, James?
hey, I'm enjoying myself. Is this great
Yeah.
content if I was a viewer? Couldn't tell you, but I'm having
Can't tell
fun.
you, but I can give you an update, James. So this original post came in at like 10 a.m. The next update
Okay.
is at 11:57 a.m.
Same day?
Say, oh, it's all the same day, baby.
Damn. Okay, they're onto it.
My husband just came out of his office and said he has a text from his boss, Holly, on his personal cell because she didn't want it on the company network. She wants to know if John is acting a lot different than the John they hired. He responded and told her all of his suspicions with the caveat he didn't want to accuse him of anything, but something is off.
Oh, fuck.
I love the idea of them being like, don't put it on the network. They could trace it back to us.
Getting pulled in and saying, hey, you don't happen to know anything. You don't happen to like see a difference or notice anything a bit off about John,
Yeah,
do
a bit
you?
skewed.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not other than the fact that
He's a different guy?
John was 5'4", and this 7'1" man who is now not wearing glasses and has a full beard and a full family when the other guy was short, no glasses,
Mhm.
trimmed, single.
In a desk. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite confident. Yeah.
Yeah, not really
Uh,
seeing too many differences there though.
Not seeing any issues. She thinks it's unlikely candidates were mixed up because she saw his resume and John claims all the same work history credentials as the John they interviewed.
Of course she's
They're
not,
on a
mate.
call with HRs.
That's
No,
because that's gonna fall back on her. She's like, "Oh, guys, this
correct.
is uh
We simply couldn't have
guys,
made a mistake. It's HR. We're infallible.
guys, I'm looking at the two bits of paper here right now, and it's like it's impossible that I could have made a mistake on this one. It's definitely not me. It's someone else.
Moi?
It's someone else down the line, I think. So
Et tu, Brute? Not me. James, she thinks so she says it's unlikely they're mixed up. They are on a call with HR as I type this. Unclear if they are working out an error by the hiring committee, HR, or unraveling fraud. More to come.
whoa,
Update two.
whoa. Let's not throw the hard F around, guys.
The F word around.
I've just this has been a light-hearted little dude, if anything.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's
been
like
fun.
I definitely know how to do what is it we do here again? Data analysis. Yeah, I can analyze data. Sure. And I've done it. I've
James,
done it before
how do you
plenty of
feel
times.
about how do you feel about kind of web methods and hitting, obviously like your standard endpoints like your post, your patch, and your delete and your get and things like that? You're sort of comfortable
Absolutely.
developing an
Yeah.
API archecture?
First of all, those three that you mentioned are all my
Cool, yeah.
favorite. They're all my favorite ones.
You have well, that's all of
The
them. So that's
post, the
interesting.
patch,
I mean,
and the other
obviously,
one that you
quote's not
said.
in there, but yeah,
Um,
delete. But that's fine. You should probably know that.
Yeah, no, and I do, but
Oh, I
no,
can
those,
tell.
yeah, those ones are all my favorite. And what I like to do is sometimes I like to skip a step and sort of just do two of them.
Oh,
And that's really
right.
sort of improved like the timeline of my
It would be more efficient.
definitely. I'll tell you this. Just doing that, I've managed to turn a 40-hour work week into 27 and a half. Just doing that one thing.
Right, but you're not concerned that maybe that's kind of opening up a lot of room for errors because the whole reason you use a get request before a
No.
post is to sort of check if the
No.
resource exists. You don't really face that.
No, I'm not.
Well, let me ask you that.
I'll just
No,
say
I
this:
mean,
not something I've run into, and
Right.
like with all of my protocols and sort of stuff that I have on
Yeah,
the back end. The back end is really where a lot of this is happening.
that's where it shines.
Yeah,
right.
So I've sort of
Do
I've got
you-
protocols on the back end that are sort of preventing that. So you know how it is.
Well, I mean,
I don't have to tell you.
yeah.
You know how it is. But yeah.
I know how it is. I mean, protocol doesn't. It's not. But that's fine. Do you what's your favorite? Like, what do you think is like the best authentication method? What do you prefer in a kind of
Uh,
modern RESTful setting?
my favorite ones that I've been using,
Yeah.
BattleNet has a good one. Their authenticator. Steam has a good one as well. That's also pretty
Yeah,
good.
for sure. I haven't heard of those. Are they
Authy,
web standard?
Authy,
or-
if you want to, you sort of consolidate them all into sort of one sort of particular place. Those ones,
I mean, that's
sort of
single
my
sign-on,
favorite. Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And so how do you feel about like OAuth 2? What's your kind of
Um,
because that's sort of
how
what
do
we
I feel
hired you
about
for, was
what?
to OAuth 2, that was the big project, was to kind of deploy our OAuth 2 architecture.
Ooh, you
Kinda
guys are
bring
still
us up to-
okay. You guys are still on OAuth 2, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
You guys aren't onto OAuth
well, we're not
3.
yet.
Yikes. No,
I
that's
don't
cool.
think
No, that's
a
cool.
thing
OAuth
yet.
2, I was using that maybe like back in college, I guess. But anyway, no,
I mean, it was
OAuth
invented in
3,
2014. How old are you?
yeah, OAuth 3 is really where it's where I'm doing a lot of my stuff these days. It's where I'm really sort of what I'm sinking my teeth into. But
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
OAuth,
Okay.
hey, OAuth 2 is cool if you're an OAuth 2 kind of guy or gal.
Well, that's what we hired you for. Yeah.
But me, more of an OAuth 3 kind of person in my personal projects, if I'm honest. And I'm just being honest. So
Yeah. Look, I'll be transparent, James. Nailed it.
thank you.
I did not believe that you weren't an integration engineer for a second.
A what? What do we do here?
Update
Integrating
2 at
engineers. Okay, cool.
No.
Yeah.
This update is like literally 30 minutes later at 12:25. Husband just got off a call with Holly, their their HR business partner, and the internal recruiter who sent the offer. They confirmed the right candidate was offered the job and agreed things were odd. And another oddity revealed on that phone call: John didn't know who Holly was. She had to reintroduce herself and he asked about her role. Holly was one of the two of the 3 rounds of interviews. So like,
yikes.
it's yeah. They're currently speaking with their legal team to discuss options and when to bring John into the mix to try and explain.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that
guys,
being like,
how do you deal with the problem now?
Sorry, Holly, who are you? I know we spoke for 4 hours and
Yep.
you sent me my letter of offer, but who are you? What do you do?
Yep. Sarah, great to see you again. Jeff, always a
great to
pleasure.
see you.
Always a pleasure.
Jeff, looking good
And
as always.
you are
Holly. I don't know
Holly,
that I
of
have had the
course.
pleasure.
Of course, Holly. I have such I'm bad with sort of like faces and names and job descriptions and titles.
I got 3 kids
and offers and sort of and things that I've talked to people about. So who are you again? Holly. Okay, cool. Yeah. And you're sort of like in like recruitment kind of thing, like HR. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Update 3, 1:43 p.m. So an hour later.
Fuck, they
It's
are
been a
on
crazy
this.
morning.
This dude couldn't bluff his way for one day. One day.
I feel like we could get a week out of it, maybe. If we did this as a duo, we could get a week, maybe. I feel.
Yeah, I feel like at least till like some like stand-up meeting happens and they say, "What are you working on?" And then I have to be like, "Oh, similar to what he said."
It's kind of the same thing as him.
Yeah, parallel really to sort of what he's working on. So
oh no, James, you just started. I'm kind of shadowing. I'm reading the manual. I'm trying to get to know the process.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. We get 2 weeks easy then. We get 2 weeks easy.
This
guy can't do one day.
2 weeks salary, baby. Easy. So they're waiting to hear back from legal. I think they're weighing whether they confront John and let him try to explain or just let him go regardless. He either lied about his identity or lied about his experience since he's unable to speak about the basics of the job now. So regardless, it seems like he will now have to go.
John.
My husband is in a rabbit hole of research now, and apparently this fake interviewing is a thing. The job in question is a MuleSoft architect. Oh my god, that was the bit I was doing. I did not plan that. That's so funny. That's an API architect. That's fucking hysterical. For context, that is the conversation that would have been had. Is they would have been like, oh, so do you prefer like OAuth 2 or like basic auth? Like, what do you think is a good security standard? And you would have been like, this guy would have been like, yeah, actually OAuth 3. Like that was pretty close to. Don't come, James.
What's up?
He's doing another little banner image. So I got excited because I saw MuleSoft. It's fine.
Yeah.
3:13 p.m. They heard back from legal, who are now less than thrilled about the situation. They approved HR to have a conversation with John regarding what has been reported. More in the vein of like, there are some concerns about you overselling your abilities, and less of the we think you're a liar. In the meantime,
nice.
legal.
I like that.
In the meantime, legal approved security to put a trace on John's computer to review if there have been any outside messages or if his work is being completed with outside help, etc. My husband said the general consensus among the group on the call is that the talk with HR is going to send up a quick red flag, and John is likely to resign, claiming a poor fit rather than getting caught committing or admitting to fraud. This seems likely. I'm with this. This is like, I would just be like,
I'll tell you what though, John couldn't bluff his way for a single day.
Not for a day.
There's no way this dude doesn't get out of like a fraud charge where they're like trying to set up to be like, maybe you're just not the right fit. And he's just like doubles down, just like really gets in there. And then they have to do him for fraud. John.
Yeah.
You've been found out.
You've been got. Take, you know what?
I didn't even think.
Take the loss and.
I didn't even think that while we're in the role, we could be outsourcing it to someone else. So now I'm starting to think that me and you could maybe do 3 weeks. I'm going to push it out for 3 weeks.
I think we could make a quarter, if I'm being honest.
Oh, shit. That's okay.
If you were doing a job like this and you're just outsourcing the work to me, I think we could pull it off for a quarter because I could coach you on enough talking points. We get stuck if they were like, hey, can you demo this code or could you show me what you've written? You'd be like, No.
Definitely,
I
definitely,
prefer not
guys.
to share. It's a work in
So
progress.
anyway,
Not ready.
I'm just gonna pull that up now, and oh, bloody crumbs are going and gotten a bloody blue screen on that one. Ah,
Oh,
guys, I was so
but
excited to show you my
but
code that
could
I've been
you?
working on.
Were you gonna demo it on like Node, or were you gonna run it in like a local client? What was your
Yeah,
plan? Because I can probably replicate that from my end.
yeah, really just I was gonna do whichever one I was feeling that day or whatever, but I just
But
crumbs,
you'd
guys.
be right. You'd be right at this. The amount of an engineer would get away with that to be like, oh, I was just gonna vibe it out at the time, and you'd be like, okay, but did you not have a better plan? And they all go like, no,
No,
not really.
no, the plan
Yeah,
was the vibe, actually. Yeah, so
the plan was the vibe. Okay,
yeah.
so this last update comes in at 5:07 p.m. So the end of the first day.
Yeah.
This is my last update. As soon as HR got on the call with him, before they could get through their first question, John said the words, "I quit," and hung up the calls. He has
Fuck
been
yeah,
since
John.
unreachable.
Yep.
But he's got a work machine. So that security are trying to work out if they can like get the equipment back.
Okay.
If John is really his name, etc. Hoping it was a failed case of trying to get a job and not trying to steal not trying to steal company info, but who knows? We may never know. It's fucking crazy.
I love
Isn't
that
it crazy, like,
John gets in, but right before they can, I break up with you first. Yes, I'm out of here, guys. Fuck you. And then he'd like
boom, I
log
quit.
off.
You
Yeah.
can't fire me. I quit. Like it's very petty.
Yeah.
I think.
The fact that
This
John
is,
could
like,
sense it
actual
was coming
fraud.
though, pretty good.
I
Completely,
think
completely unaware of anything else, but he sensed
really
the
beefed the
firing
rest of
coming.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's your first day and HR want to talk to you
Yeah.
and it wasn't pre-scheduled, that's not a great sign, I don't think.
Can't be great.
Yeah.
And clearly wasn't.
I like the idea that he's got away with like a laptop or something though, because they don't know who this guy is. He's just like absconded with the work machine.
Yeah, they're gonna. I tell you what, they're gonna get in a car. They're gonna drive to what he said was his address, and it's gonna be in an abandoned building. It's just
Like,
an abandoned building.
It's one of those addresses that's like in the middle of a lake or something, because it's like a dead spot for like cell phone carriers. You know, like there's a thing that people do where it's like they'll have an address in the middle of a lake in case you need to. Like that's a thing. And it's like that's what I would do if I was in the situation. What's up?
What's up? What's up, dude? What'd you just say?
No, nothing. So
you
I just
have an
sometimes feel like-
address in a dead spot because of you said for like
Sometimes-
when you need it because of course you do.
Sometimes you can trick Google Maps permanently into thinking that a particular house address exists somewhere else, and if you get that somewhere else in the middle of a cell phone dead spot, which you can see through like a heat map on a satellite, then it will automatically go to the actual address, but you can put in whatever the address is in your programmed, and then put it in like that dead
Okay.
spot, and it will just automatically
Okay.
assume it's that person's house.
The only
but you
time
use the other address
yeah,
like an alias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time
Yeah.
anyone tells someone a false address in a dead zone is because they're trying to jump them, murder them, escape. You know, it's very, I don't know if you've seen there's an Australian TV show called Mr. In Between, and that sort of that happens a lot where he's like, hey, you know, don't kill me. I've got like, you know, 50 grand in a duffel bag buried at this address or this location, whatever. And they go, all right. And then they go out there and then like, you know, it gives them time to escape, or there's a gun in the thing, or there's a bomb or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so
Right,
that's why you would need that. And you've
Right.
just said for when you need it, because of course you do.
No, I don't. That seems like a miss. What I would say is that it's sort of sometimes you experiment with things and then you just I don't think that
Experiment with it? Sometimes you need to experiment with human bodies in dead zones where no one can call for help this Patrick Bateman energy that you've been putting out for ever is starting to like, it went away for a while, but it's starting to ramp back up again.
I honestly think it's the cold and
The
flu medication
bloodlust.
has kept me very like up, and I think it's really brought out the Bateman vibes.
Someone clip that. I watched him go cold and dead behind the eyes when he said the word up just there. He was like, oh, it's been really up. I can't even do it because you went away somewhere. I'm so glad we're doing this podcast digitally from now on. Oh my God. This is I feel so much safer this is like being on the other side of a screen of a murderer. Like when you're talking to them on like the phone in like prison or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I'm fine because I can like leave at any point and there's like a barrier
You've got
between
this
us.
safety net.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where you live.
I'm not gonna buzz you in. You'll never get up to me.
Yeah. Well, getting into buildings is I'm not gonna say anymore because it's gonna.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. I need to now contact the police. I need to contact the police right now and give them this footage that he's just done. And hey, guys, I'm also going to show them the one where you took my likeness and you were trying to represent me as being yourself. I'm gonna do you for fraud as well. You're cooked, cunt. You're done. You're done.
Between that and the witches, I'm in trouble. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at The Advisory Pod.
Run!
You can follow us on Instagram.
You get out while you can.
You can follow us on Instagram at The Advisory Podcast. Or if you want to send us a question or contact the show, theadvisorypodcast@gmail.com is the best place to do that. Send us any advice you need or any advice you find. We're more than happy to help in any way we can. Thank you so much for watching or listening. We appreciate your support. Doing this show is a lot of fun, and we do it for you guys. So if you appreciate it, please let us know. If you're consuming it somewhere where you can like it or send a link to somebody, consider doing that. Or alternatively, you can go to YouTube and you can just kind of search for whatever it is you're feeling like and just kind of look at a fun video that takes your fancy. If you put in a keyword, it'll kind of bring up related stuff. You could do that as well if you would like.
Have you got one?
Otherwise, we'll be a keyword.
Yeah, keyword that people can search.
I don't want to offer one at this stage because I feel it may be further incriminating.
What if you say a keyword and then I'll say a keyword and we'll just put it together, and that can be what
at
people
the same
can go.
Time?
Yeah, what people can go and look at.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll count us down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then after I say 1, we go.
Done.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Frogs.
Skyscraper.
Done.
I said skyscraper and you said frogs. You're welcome. See what comes up. It's a fun little game for you. Otherwise, we will leave you for this week. I will be back next Thursday at the same time, 6 p.m. AEST, which is +10 GMT, Thursday night, Australian time, for another episode of The Advisory. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you guys then.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Broccolini all day.